everyone, and welcome to another installment of Fantastic Five. This week, we're counting down the 5 best Western-themed heroes in all of comics. Although superheroes have dominated the sales charts for comics since the 1960s, there have been surges in popularity for other genres across the decades. One such genre was Westerns, which had their first wave of success in the 1950s when Western movies were all the rage. And then a resurgence in the 1970s when elements of horror got added and the Weird West had its moment in the sun. And what's more, cowboy comics have been popular in Europe consistently since the 1950s. As a result, this list could easily have been 3 times as long. Here are a few classic characters that just narrowly missed the top 5 this week. Batlash, DC's pacifist twist on the macho cowboy. Cinnamon, bounty-hunting sheriff's daughter. Desperate Dan, super strong mascot of the Dandy and one of Britain's longest-running comics characters. Jesse Custer, a rare modern-day take on the Western hero. And Lobo, the first black character ever to headline his own solo title. Reach for the sky, partner. It's the top 5. Number 5, Two-Gun Kid. Marvel Comics had success with a number of Kid characters, starting with Kid Colt in 1948, including the Apache Kid, the Ringo Kid, the Outlaw Kid, and more. Perhaps the most prominent of these was the Rawhide Kid, who, despite being one of the longest running of Marvel's Western heroes, was unfortunately turned into a homophobic joke in 2003. That leaves us with Two-Gun, who was first introduced in 1948, but was more successfully rebooted in 1962 as Mad Hawk, a two-fisted lawyer who, thanks to time travel, eventually joins the Avengers and hangs out with She-Hulk. Number 4, Lucky Luke. Hey, you know who loves comics? Belgians. The country that brought us Tintin, the Smurfs, and Asterix has more cartoonists per square mile than any other nation on Earth. One of the most popular comics in Belgium, and in fact all of Europe, is Lucky Luke, a humorous spoof of the Western genre about a clever cowboy who is good with a gun and has the world's smartest horse and the world's dumbest dog. The series is so popular that it's been translated into 23 different languages since its debut in 1946, and even the dog got a spin-off in 1987. Number 3, Vigilante. The other characters on this list all live their lives and have their adventures in actual cowboy times, except of course when Two-Gun travels in time. But the Vigilante stands out because despite his colorful costuming, he actually lives in contemporary times. Greg Sanders debuted in 1941 and was a popular country singer known as the Prairie Troubadour, who began fighting crime after a gang of bandits killed his father. His whole deal is that he was a skilled brawler and a trick shooter who rode down bad guys on a motorcycle rather than a horse. Also, as a previous video in this series proved, his partner, Stuff the Chinatown Kid, is one of the best sidekicks of all time. Number 2, Blueberry. Hey, look at that, another Belgian comic. But this one is famous at least in part due to its French artist, Moebius, who is generally regarded as one of the greatest artists in the history of the medium of comics. Blueberry is the tale of a racist son of a plantation owner whose worldview changes when his life is saved by a fugitive slave, and then dedicates his life to fighting racism and discrimination of all kinds. Blueberry's nature as a no-nonsense hero, combined with Moebius's incomparable art, have made this book a staple of French-language comics in the same way Superman is for Americans since the 1960s. And number 1, Jonah Hex. DC's scarred bounty hunter might be the best-known Western hero in modern times. His debut in 1972's All-Star Western number 10 inspired the series to change its name to Weird Western Tales and helped kick off the Weird West trend of the 70s, which combined cowboys with horror or science fiction and included such characters as Scalp Hunter and El Diablo, as well as the Phantom Rider across the street at Marvel. Jonah Hex's personal code of honor and his ability to keep his cool in the face of zombies and Cthulhu monsters has ensured his continued popularity, even after that one series where he went to the future and whatever the heck was going on with that movie. That's all for this week. Join us next week for 5 more cool things, buckaroos. Thanks for watching this episode of Fantastic 5. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Comics Alliance for more comic facts, and check out comicsalliance.com for more comic awesomeness.